internet is not saying we have any power at all. So we're just trying to check it real quick to see if it's actually working or it's not. It's
Thank you.
dead. So we'll find out what's going on. We're actually here at Friday night at the Cat and the Fiddle.
Show you our fish. What we got left.
Let me.
Turn it around.
Is it this one?
No, there's this camera over there.
Here, turn around. Yeah, fish. 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 Fish, puppy. Fish.
It was good. Was not disappointed at all.
So it does show 2 people on. So are we actually coming in halfway? We're not doing StreamYard, so I don't know. I'll have to let's go to one of the phones. You have this one on? Well, let's see if our internet is working. Turn this down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Content. Yeah, it says, hey, everything is good. Ray's Moto. You know who we saw today? We got to meet XN Biker. He says he's met you before, and so it's kind of neat. Let me go get my other.
Tripod?
Yeah. So you entertain them.
All right, there's a bunch of people on now. We're waiting for some friends and family to show up. We were all supposed to meet here. A couple people couldn't make it, but sorry. I was trying to see what the comments were. So a couple people couldn't make it, but there's supposed to be some that are out here. I don't have my glasses on either. Rowan's on. Hey, are you just always on the internet just waiting for us to come on? Clint's on. I see him. And Stephanie Livingston. She says, I see you. There you go. Oops. It keeps... Oh, that's not what I wanted. There you go. Comments. Roy's Motor Life says, yeah. Oops. I guess it's already up. Yeah, we met in St. Louis. He is a good guy. He has what's for dinner? Fish. I just put it all in the to-go box. We're at Cat and Fiddle.
Stick it in a hole.
We're at Cat and Fiddle in Belleville, Illinois. Raise it up. We're seeing our next. Cat and Fiddle.
So we're gonna let me plug the microphone in. Oh, don't look! Don't look! Don't look!
Is it on that side or the other side?
It's on this side. Yeah, there. So we can't bring the messages up because I don't have it on StreamYard. We've got it on.
We're getting the evil eye because we got a big table and nobody's here yet.
Yeah, they can always sit down there.
Well, I mean, I just figure.
So Rapture Rant's on. Julie Heil's on.
Hey, Julie.
We're
We're at Cat and Fiddle. You need to be here. But you're down there in Texas and not here in Belleville.
I think
Dale's coming.
Supposed to.
Yep. He said he'd be here right around 5. It's 5 after 5, so hopefully he'll be here soon.
And my sister's supposed to be showing up. My brother's supposed to show up. And my brother-in-law is supposed to show up. So they should be here in a few minutes. So we just wanted to see if we could... we're not really putting out much videos because my sister has the worst internet in the world.
Almost worse than Orlando.
At least Orlando we could get... It took me to do the video I did the other day. Was it Monday or something? I put a video out. Now let's see, what day did we get
Must have
here?
been Tuesday, but Monday it took you all day to upload it.
It
Monday.
took almost 24 hours to upload a 20-minute video, which I have never, ever, ever had that much trouble.
I hope to see you both this year in Sturgis. You'll have to send us your contact information, and we'll switch numbers and everything, and we'll go from there. Oops, live chat. I'm trying to see what you guys are writing. Julie says, it isn't a party without Dale. That's right, Dale. It's one of my cousins. His brother was a year ahead of me, and today is actually his birthday, so we have to do a toast to Gary, because today's his birthday. He's no longer here with us. He's up in heaven, and Dale's coming, which is his brother. So Gary was born in 59, I was born in 60, Dale was born in 61. So today he's 64.
So,
Gary would have been.
Hopefully everybody's watching us on YouTube. I don't know. I can't get it. I can't get it to come up.
I'm on YouTube. So there's 2 of them.
There you go. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. So once again,
Don't put me on that TV show.
said you could tell. Somebody said the other day when I put you on for a few minutes, they said you could definitely tell you're my sister. I don't know if that's good or bad.
He makes this face. I call it the.
No.
He makes this Popeye face when he's thinking about something. He winks his eye and says something. And a while ago, she was thinking about something, and she did the Popeye face. So I said, she does the same face you do. Yeah, they kind of wink their eye and like they're thinking about something. I always call it the Popeye face because he's got one eye closed. I already got something if you guys want to order something.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know why it doesn't.
Do you have it on YouTube? My one cousin said he'd be here a little after 5, which it's a little after 5. And then Brian and
You're gonna be on YouTube. I'm in the witness protection.
Too late now. We're now been spotted.
just that.
So I'm looking on my phone and I'm trying to find out where. Oh, there it is.
My ankle brace is coming off.
You're someplace you're not supposed to be, huh?
All right. So Rapture Ranch on. So did Ray's Moto Life say that he knew we.
Yep. He said he's a good guy, ex-sand biker.
And we had breakfast, semi-breakfast with him this morning. We had already
We
ate.
had 2 breakfasts.
And she ate twice. I didn't.
Well, he wanted. They had pie,
She had.
biscuits and gravy.
And so I went in there. And I said, I don't really want anything to eat. Kind of looked at the menu. They had pie, and I'm like, okay, what kind of pie? They had coconut cream and some other
Chocolate ribbon and double pumpkin.
And I'm like, and she goes, well, what would you like to have? Like apple? I said, yeah, any kind of fruit pie I would have ate. Apple, peach, cherry, lemon meringue pie. Nope. And I'm like, okay. So she left, came back, and I'm like, oh, they got cinnamon roll. Let's just split a cinnamon roll. Then he comes back. What do you guys want? I think we're going to split the cinnamon roll. Sorry, we're out of cinnamon rolls too. Gotta get down to the mall, and they sell them. You can put them in your showcase. So it was over in Red Bud, Illinois, is where we went, and we did a video today on that. It's pretty cool. Actually went by the old Singer plant. Took us a long time to find it, but they've added on to it. It's what's it called now?
Oh, the Singer place?
Yeah.
It's like ROCELEIN.
Well, it's not. It's something. Another different business has it now.
Roseland.
American Furnace bought them out. Yeah, that's who bought them out. Well, we started asking people, and they're like, oh, no, it's this way. So then finally, she called the heating and cooling place, and somebody there that works there actually said, hey, I know where it's at. Well, then we turned, it's on Randolph Street. So as soon as we turned down that, I'm like, okay, I knew it was Randolph Street.
That's what we got to meet up with today, ex-Am Biker.
But they got an old Texaco station there, all fixed up like an old station from the 50s. Yeah. And we went in there and took a bunch of video of that.
Had fish tonight, so I don't know. That's what's left of it. We got a pound and a half.
Out of 3 pounds,
No.
I had a sandwich and a half, and somebody scarfed out on a pound of fish. A pound and a half of fish.
Well, I get it, once every 3 years?
Well, it's been 2 years ago we were here.
Ray's Moto Life says Pating. ex-Am Biker says that means something else. We looked it up. We couldn't find that definition of pating anywhere. So
Yeah.
I don't know where you found it.
Yeah. So we found it and made a bunch of one said hitting somebody with a blunt object.
Pating.
And but see, what the difference we do is it's pa with the dots and the ting, so that makes it a whole different meaning from everything else because the rest of them
The
are.
rubs on. I love seafood. It's codfish, so I guess.
Rapture Ranch says his diet says yes to pie too.
Oh yeah. Rapture Ranch is a girl.
Oh.
So yep, we're in Buffalo, Illinois, which is where we kind of both grew up, met, went to school. So we're back here visiting family and friends.
So Hockey 87's on. So what we're doing tomorrow, we'll let you guys decide if you want to see a video on it. We are actually going to, what I basically did is, we're big Anheuser-Busch people. Busch Stadium where the Cardinals played at. We grew up here. Actually, we lived right down the road here, and when I was a kid, we lived the other way over here off of 74th Street in Belleville. So we actually met in high school. And there's a good chance we met back in the Gulf Station days. Her mom and dad had a gas station, and my parents used to have vending machines. And actually went in there, and would you not order? He's protesting it. But tomorrow, we are heading over to Anheuser-Busch. Actually, you're not going now? And they've got Grant's Farm, if you ever heard of that. There's actually, General Grant used to have a farm out here back in the Civil War days. And so we seen this thing. What I was mainly doing is looking to see if Anheuser-Busch was still offering tours. And so when it popped up, it said, hey, you could come to an event called Grant's Farm coming to Anheuser-Busch. And we're like, hey, she loves the Clydesdales. So we thought, let's check it out. Well, I thought we were actually going to Grant's Farm, and then when we looked at it, we found out we're going to the brewery downtown. So you let me know if you want to see the video on that. or if you don't. So we'll let people decide what they want to do. Maybe I'll do a short on it too and see what kind of feedback we have. If you want to see, I don't know how bad your book. A lot of places we see that we go to, we don't see so much Bud Light anymore, but we do see a lot of people drinking Anheuser-Busch products.
Yeah, no, I know her.
It's
But,
yes, it is. It's live or it's Memorex. It's live.
so Hockey87 wants to know, curious, how do you have subtitles for your lives? Let's just say I need them. Thanks.
Well, the title I had that just came up now is the one YouTube put on there. So I didn't do anything with that. But typically what I'm doing now is if we have plenty of time ahead of time, we normally use StreamYard. Right now I'm using YouTube because we didn't know if my hotspot was going to work because we had no power. It didn't show any power, but I was watching some videos and I'm like, let's just see if it'll work. Well, it came on, we were just holding the phone down here. I went back and got the microphone and all that to hook it all up. But typically we prefer to use StreamYard. But tonight, this is just YouTube. It's only on YouTube tonight. Special YouTube people. So we're checking out to see what's going on and give you guys, just a little heads up of what's going on. But normally I go through Canva is who I make my thumbnails now through. And so let's see who's all on since. So Reps are live. They're talking. Rowan is on from Australia.
I told him. He was the very first one on. I said,
was he?
Is he just sitting waiting for us to come on?
For now, yeah, I think they got
We've got some more people coming, but...
It should be here any minute.
I'm just waiting for a
Yep, you can.
Okay, there you go. That's fine.
People trying to swipe our tape. So lucky you two are going to Sturgis. Yes, we are going to Sturgis. So what we're looking at is from here. We're leaving next week, Wednesday, and it's about almost 400 miles from us from St. Louis. Actually, we're on the Illinois side. From St. Louis to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know if you guys how well you guys can hear us with a lot of noise. Let me listen to my... it's not too bad.
I can hear you.
It's not too bad at all. But we are in a tavern. We're in Cat and the Fiddle down here on St. Louis. Is it St. Louis Rock Road? Is that what it's called? St. Louis?
No, just
Old St. Louis?
Road. Old St. Louis Road.
Old St. Louis Road. Rock Road's over there in St. Charles. Yeah.
And it's also Route 13, and it's part of the Beltline too, isn't it? Okay.
It's part of the old Kmart.
Yeah.
Old Kmart.
I didn't know if it came
And
down
that's
the side,
Isla
but it's
Road
also
over here.
Route 13. Yeah.
And got a gas station over here, Circle K, right here at the T. You go down this way, you go down to the booby bars down the street at PT's. You get the meaning of PT, Cabaret. Look it up. It's right down the hill. That's right. You can't say that on YouTube. They get upset. No, I think it's sexual. So we give innuendos of what we're meaning. So what do we got? I put my glasses on. Yeah, we used to do all the beer tours in Milwaukee. But we're not going to have enough time to do everything we want to do in Milwaukee because this will be our first time to go to Harley Davidson, the museum, to anything. But we did get media passes, thanks to our corporate sponsor, Harley Davidson, that set us up with media passes, and more of that will be coming while we're in Milwaukee. You'll find out a little more about that. Not looking for any money from Harley Davidson, but we're looking for a special deal if you get what I'm looking for. So we'll see what they say, and maybe we'll have something new for the next year. And so we're going to see how that all turns out, and see how bad Harley wants to. I don't want anything big like that to ever sponsor us, because the bad thing is if you had Harley Davidson sponsor us and pay us to do videos, the problem that we would end up having is they wouldn't allow me to talk to Indian, BMW, Triumph, anybody like that. It would have to be stick strictly with, there you go.
There he is.
How's it going? That's your cousin Dale. Her cousin Dale. He's got a beard now. He looks different. So, meeting her cousin. Hasn't seen him in a while. So
is she coming up or no?
Still at work.
Is she? Oh my gosh. Now she work at Missouri Bat or
So that's Tam's cousin, Dale. Most of the time, most of our relatives are in this area, other than our kids. But all of our relatives, I have a brother and a sister. Brother you didn't see, he might come up tonight, he may not. We went over his house yesterday. She doesn't have any brothers or sisters. She has a mess of cousins. Is Dale the only one coming up cousin-wise?
I think so.
So that's her cousin Dale back there, the guy in the gray shirt that has the Trump shirt on. And
he's the one that's a year younger than me, and his brother that we just did a toast to was a year older than me. I'm in the middle of them two.
so she has a lot of cousins. One of them that's on here now that
Julie,
is.
that's Julie's brother. There she is.
Yeah. So
Put Dale
here,
on.
Here.
Here, Dale.
So Julie wants to talk to her brother. So we'll wait a minute till they get over here, and we'll let them talk to each other a few minutes here on the internet. And so give him a minute. He's over here yakking his jaw. And
Julie wants to say hi to you. Julie's on.
so you say hi, and then she'll type up something.
Hey, Julie. Wish you were here.
I know. That would be
That's
great.
funny.
Give her a minute to type something in.
There she is. She says, "Love you, miss you, Dale."
You still got your motorcycle?
In 1
Oh,
month.
yeah.
Tell everybody what kind of bike you got.
I got an '06 Heritage Softail.
All right, we're gonna make it to Sturgis this year.
Oh, boy, I
You keep
wish.
saying you're gonna go.
I know
We're
it.
gonna get too old. We can't go.
I know it. I got to retire soon.
You can't be making all that money.
Does it say miss me yet?
Yeah. So that's her cousin, and Julie that's on here. That's her brother, our older brother, and so we'll see. Oh, Julie did say a few things.
She said, "Miss you, babe.
Oh,
See
she
you
said-
in 1 month." She's gonna be home in 1 month.
Yeah, I got it right.
So they got a little long distance.
Julie lives in Texas. We saw her. If you watched one of our lives we were doing down at Cyril in Galveston 2 years ago, that was his sister.
Yeah. If you've been around that long, if you haven't, gotta go back and find it. Galveston, a while back. And so yeah, she's got cousins that are kind of. Most of them are here too. I was gonna say, yeah. So Julie's the only one that's doesn't live in the area.
Well, Mark lives up in Bloomington. And then I have
Illinois.
another cousin on my grandma's side. She lives up in Utah. She's the one that has a house in Mexico that we went to for the Mexican rally. And then I asked Vicki, my one cousin, to come. She forgot about it, so she's not coming. And her sister is at a concert tonight, so she can't come. So a
Dave's,
friend of yours is supposed to come.
so Dave's Crazy Trailer's here from Maryland.
What'd he say?
He's back from Gettysburg.
right.
He's going to Gettysburg tomorrow. Let me know how that is. I seen Mexi Philly just had a video on earlier this morning. I just kind of skimmed through it today. There didn't look like much of nothing going on. He did a lot of talking and didn't see many people there. He said typically it looks like maybe Fridays when you're expecting more people. But let us know what you think about Gettysburg. Not saying that we're going to go there yet, but you never know about next year. We're picking up, this year we're picking up the Ocean City. We've never been there before. We're not bringing the bike. We're flying in. We got set up with a place to stay and a truck to drive around in. So,
Thank Emory HVAC.
yep.
Thank Emory HVAC for my key finders.
Yep.
Thanks Emory HVAC for the the air conditioning system for the garage. So got a lot of thanks for him.
So Dave's Crazy Trailer. Did you go over there yesterday too? And you said there was nobody there yesterday either. So what day does it start on? Did it start on Wednesday? Is that the day it normally starts? I don't really know anything about Gettysburg Bike Week. I've just heard a lot of people say that it's really died over the years. It's not what it used to be. I got a lot of vendors that said they're not going anymore. So, like I said, I've never been there, don't know anything about it, so I can't say anything good or bad about it. Most rallies are what they are, just like Laconia. A lot of people say I talk bad about Laconia, but it's people built it up to be more than what when I got there expected. But I mean, it is a nice rally. It's great up there in New Hampshire. There is some good riding and stuff up there, but it's like I'm glad I went. But probably the chances of going back to Laconia, unless somebody wants to sponsor us up there, we probably won't be back to Laconia in the near future. Not saying who knows down the road.
Nothing. I was doing my glasses.
And so, you know, right now we've got down, we're heading to Milwaukee. This is where we're leaving next week, Wednesday, to go up to Milwaukee. We'll be up there on Wednesday afternoon. We can check in around 2, so hopefully we'll try to figure my time, and hopefully we'll get up there around noon or 2 o'clock to where we can get in, get the bike out, and kind of scope things out ahead of time. We got media passes. We got to go to the museum to get that. There's a certain time, I think it's 10 to 2 or 10 to 4, something like that, to get our media passes.
It started yesterday, he said.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, most of the day.
Okay.
He was there Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know how to get rid of that part.
You can't. If you want to do something, type something in there and it'll move it up. I don't know how
Started
that.
yesterday. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, most of the day.
So he said there wasn't much going on Wednesday there either. So, you know, I guess it's pretty close to your house if you're getting there back and forth so soon.
Where are you at now?
Are you asking us? We are in Belleville, Illinois. Actually, this is where we grew up. We're going to show you some video soon. I can't do it right away because I want to show you some pictures. I'm going to show you a factory that I worked at when I was 16 years old to show that I did, you know, was ready to go out and work. Actually, my brother-in-law Larry, he worked there too. I don't know, did you work there when I worked the summer? And it had been like in 76? Okay, you can't. Because in 76, 77 is whatever summer it was. Okay, yeah. Well, Steve took me to work every day. I rode with him. And I was just there for the summer help. I couldn't remember if you were there or not, but it was like, really it was about, well, he actually worked at another place down the road here. It used to be called Empire Stove Company. And they're well known for wall heaters. A lot of the wall heaters they make are out in California. Yeah. So he worked there too, and then he worked, and now he's retired. He don't do nothing. He mowed grass today.
He's got 6 acres to take care
Oh,
of.
he said
the house.
he had to work. He got to work until he said Uncle Sam called him. So he was in the service for 3 years. He got sent over there to Korea, but he was down in southern Korea, so he wasn't up there where all the action was. But yeah, I didn't even know North Korea worked. Just South Korea. He was in
Are they growing
Busan.
beans there yet? No, but they finally got some decent rain, and the corn sprouted up.
Oh yeah, it's. I have never seen in all my life of living here. I've never seen so many fields full of crops everywhere.
Well,
We're talking to we have 42 people on. That's actually watching us. Yeah, if there was nobody on, we would just end it and get off. But this is unscheduled. We're not on Facebook, so probably Neil won't be able to watch us.
No.
Where you at, Neil? So we're in a tavern. We're at Cat and the Fiddle. Look that up. Cat and the Fiddle in Belleville, Illinois, and that's where we're at. They have some great food. This is a place that's packed when it comes to weekends like this Friday. They're going to sell out of the fish. Yeah, the fish, they're going to sell out of it sometime this evening. No, that's why I said it. We explained that this is a Catholic town. That's what started it all. Back when you couldn't eat anything but fish on Friday, which doesn't matter anymore. And but yeah, it's also we're a very big German town too here. A lot of Germans, a lot of Catholics. That's what the town kind of grew up with when we grew up with. We did have some Jewish people and stuff here, and it was a pretty great town for growing up in. It's not the greatest community anymore. We'll leave it at that. A lot of people moving out of the city. They live out in Millstadt. A lot of people, my brother lives out in Millstadt, doesn't live too far from them. My brother actually lives in the city. They actually live in the town of Waterloo, but it's more Millstadt than Waterloo. So that's where they kind of live. And my brother lives in a subdivision, got a pretty good sized house. He's retired too. He used to work at the Dial Corporation over in St. Louis. He was maintenance. It gives me a lot of help when it comes to electrical. When I kind of figure out what wire I'm going to put in the garage or anything I'm doing, I'll call him up and say, hey, double check, here's what I'm doing, here's far. And he looks in his little book and he goes, hey, you need to get 12 gauge or 14 gauge or whatever I'm getting. And helps me out a lot. So let's see what we got. They're talking about Dave's. Let me look at my phone. I won't have to keep hitting the screen. So Dave's Crazy Train, I guess they were asking him. He was up in Iowa. George is in the house. Talking. So, Rowan, what time is it in Australia now? Is it late or are you really early now? Did you see the video I put out the other day that I had the short that we did on the guys from Australia? We did the long yesterday, whatever the long video is that I put out, that they were in that. And they talked a little bit more about what they're doing. So we met about, I don't know, 15, 20 Aussies, I guess that's what you call each other. And I love meeting people from,
Get the fish.
so it's really early.
Will you be in Milwaukee? I really want to know how long you'll be in Milwaukee.
We get to Milwaukee on the 12th, and we will be there till that Monday, which is the 17th, I think, is when we leave. So we're there for the Milwaukee 120th Harley Davidson homecoming. It's their anniversary. Whenever they have normally they have their homecomings on Labor Day. But since this is an anniversary year, the 120th, they bring it out before Sturgis, which works good for us. That way on the way to, normally we'd be in Sturgis right now. We'd already be getting down, getting dirty, getting you all the great content. But since we got Milwaukee, I've never done Milwaukee during an anniversary at all. I would love, the idea of this is, there's some, I might go next year and think, hey, this is the greatest thing and we'll be back at the 125th. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping there's going to be hundreds of thousands of Harley Davidsons. And so we'll see what happens. Who knows, what's going to happen.
We've been to the Wisconsin Dells. A long time ago.
We drove by it, I think. I don't think we actually went to it.
I know everybody always talks about it, but I don't know. I thought we went to it, but I don't know.
And then after that, we got to make our phone call. We're going to be going to the J&P Museum in Iowa that they're closing up. They're going to have a big auction. And we'll talk about that as when we get there. We'll tell you all the information. I already got it all from Meekum what day it's going to be. I think it's like September 12th or something. They're going to auction off all 300 bikes that they've got there. So we're going to meet up with the owner. We got her phone number, and we're going to be giving her a call here next week. Or this week, yeah. Yeah, next week, because it's already Saturday tomorrow. So we'll be calling her next week early, and she'll talk to her and see if we can set a time up. Hopefully that Monday when we're coming through, we can stop off, talk to her, get a little shot of that, and we can also tag Meekum. So, if you want to know if you're somebody that's interested in buying one of those historic bikes there, let us know, and we'll spend a little more time on that bike. So I don't know if there's anything in Meekum's site yet. They told me about 2 months ago when the auction was, but I don't know if it's gone public. I didn't look at the Meekum site to see, because we're part of the Meekum group now. And so they're sending me all the great updates and everything that's going on. So I've known for quite a while that they're having the auction. We didn't do a video yet on it because I didn't want anybody asking questions because I really don't know much about it. Never been there. So,
Yep, and selling.
Yep.
Checking out my old Harley Sturgis t-shirts for the 120th. There you go.
Yeah.
I'll see you up there, crazy day.
Yep. So we'll be up there. We're actually at the state, county, fairgrounds. I think it's in Milwaukee. I think we're at site 1201 or something. I don't know. But we didn't get any sewer. We just got electric water. I got a dump station. So.
We're only going to be up there a few days.
Yeah. So we'll be able to dump on the way out, and then we'll head to Sturgis. And we may be stopping by Clockworks and Digital Gauges. We might be stopping by both those places. We'll see how time goes. We're planning on being in Sturgis.
Colonel Sanders sitting behind us. I don't know.
I don't see him. Could be a chicken bone lady here. They do have chicken wings. Looking for the chicken bone lady. Chicken bone lady, chicken bone lady. I don't know where she's at. What?
She took my water. I put it over there so nobody would sit down there and she took it. It was almost empty.
So hopefully it's not getting too loud because, like I say, this is a very small place with a lot of action going on. And they actually now have picnic tables and stuff out back. They never really had that before. Last time we were here, but they spent some money and got some picnic tables back here. You can sit outside. It's in the 80s today. It's not. Yesterday was great. It cooled down. Nice. But this is good weather because it reminds her why she doesn't want to live in the Midwest anymore. When it's like 89, 90 degrees, humidity's like 98%, and the dew point's at 89%. It's freaking hot in here. It's even hot in here. And so fish fry, yep, that's where we're at. They have cod cut-ups. That's the specialty tonight. But I mean, they have catfish too. Okay, so you guys can hear me fine. That's great. Sarepta Ranch used to live in Paradisville. Spent weekends in the Dells. But we stopped when we were coming through the 90 last year, coming back from Laconia and all that. We went by the Dells. We kind of stopped at a McDonald's or something in the parking lot. and you couldn't believe all the kids that were there. See, when we were young kids, parents always went to the Wisconsin Dells. It was like a old person thing. It's like going to Branson, Missouri. And so you didn't think of seeing young people. We've seen a whole van of like college kids, high school kids that were going to the Dells. When I Googled it, looks like now it's more of a tourist trap. It's got go-karts and water parks and all kinds of stuff like that going on. I don't know what was there before. She thinks we went to the Wisconsin Dells. I don't think we ever did. I went up to Wisconsin for some training one time. I don't know if it was... I don't know. I went up there for some kind of training when I was a mechanic, and I have no idea what it was. Too long ago. Back in the 80s, early 80s. So I have no idea what it was. But I know there was ice on the road. We had an old Ford Fairmont. Actually, it was a new Ford Fairmont back then. It was a 78, so it had to be... Did I have it? Yeah, so it was 78, so it was after that time. And we drove that... No, it was an 81. That's what it was. 81 Ford Fairmont. What a brand new. What a piece of junk that was. Who would have ever known how bad a car sales were back then? But you never know. Bought it, got beat up by hail, got like $3,000 or $4,000 for it, and I sold it cheap and came out all right. So that's it. So what we're going to do here is I've got a video that we're working on today, and we're kind of showing you some of the things about us. I used to have a gas station. I used to have a garage down the road. We're going to do a video on that, but I don't have the pictures there at home to show you what my shop looked like back then. A lot of people, when I talk about stuff, or anybody talks about stuff, people are like, yeah, sure, he really did that, or yeah, he did that. Well, I've got, I used to sell Mac tools too. I got all kinds of pictures with that too. But I used to take a lot of pictures back when you had 35 millimeters. And of a lot of the stuff that I did, I pretty much started young. When I was 19 years old, I had my first gas station. I had a Skelly station up in Peru, Illinois, one of the last Skelly stations in the United States. Had that. I had that for about 4 years. I mean, her parents hounded us to come back to Southern Illinois. We bought an acre of property that had an old Texaco station on it, which we're going to show you what was right next door, that her parents owned a business, not at the same time. But when we were dating, they owned this place, and we'll talk about that in this video. But it may not come out until we get back from Sturgis because I can't show you the pictures. Unless I Google something and it shows up, but I don't know. The gas station probably won't be because I was in front of the gas station and all that. And then after that, I was mainly, for most of my life, I was an auto mechanic. I was in the automotive field. It's really getting loud now. So we may have to wrap it up here in a minute. Hey, can you still hear me? Well, it's with this microphone, it's pretty good, but we'll have to see if I'm asking them if you can hear me anymore. We've dropped down to only 38 people on now, so it may get pretty loud. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? So nobody's responding. It's pretty quiet. Yes, we can still hear you. Thank you, Kiwi. I haven't heard you guys in a while. And yeah, still sounds good. I got the good microphone on, so we're hoping. But I mean, it's even getting loud for me to hear myself talk, which is kind of scary. So, but yeah, it's. So we're just kind of wrapping things up. Poor Charlie Dog was doing really good these last 2 days. He was throwing the ball this morning, but he got sick again, and we don't know what's wrong with him. His life may be coming slowly to an end. I don't know. We've had him to 2 vets. One of them thought he had liver enzyme. What's happening with Charlie is he's throwing up whatever that stuff like goes down your stomach and all that. And they thought that his liver had too many enzymes that could be doing it. Well, they told us to give this milk thistle, which is a natural product to help with your liver. And they said they thought it would kind of make a difference. Well, since we've been here, it has actually gotten worse. So we went and got different dog food, thinking maybe that was it. He didn't really want to seem to eat. And so we got some other dog food. She grounded it all up, gave him a little bit at a time, and he ended up all that came back up that same day. So after feeding him 3 times, because he kept saying, I want more, so we kept giving him more. So then we went back now for the last 2 days. She's been giving him nothing but rice again. So he was really doing good. We left this afternoon to go meet X and Biker, and they said it all came out again. So we don't know. One vet said they thought because his stomach was too empty is why he was doing it. I don't know. I don't know if but he's still going to the bathroom in both ends. It's working fine. So we have no idea what's wrong with him. I don't know. You know, he has been mopey at times, and I was kind of wondering about maybe having to put him down. But then these last 2 days, he's been, well, like today, he got sick by the time we got back. He was already up and around and acting like he was okay again. So we don't know. Charlie's 11. Yes, that's Dale. Kimberly's on now.
Hey, Kimberly.
So I know if that was Dale.
Hey, Kim. Miss you.
So yes, he is drinking plenty of water. He's always drank a lot of water anyway. Well, somebody thought he maybe had, but we had complete blood tests done. They checked his stools, that was fine. He checked his urine, that was fine. So the only thing that they could see, now the only other thing that they said is they would recommend if it kept up after a month, which has only been about a week and a half now since he's been to the vet, that he could have stomach cancer or something. But when she looked at, she treated cancer patients, Tam did for years, and she said normally your whites, whatever. What's it called when you have cancer? White? What are you looking at? White?
The lymphocytes to the white blood cell count.
Yeah. White blood cell count is usually high. Well, when she looked at the blood report, it wasn't. So that's what kind of makes it sound like we don't know what's wrong with him. Well, I even thought about, I'd heard dogs that have had their stomachs flip into a knot, but she says usually they can't take a dump anymore. So he's doing that. So he's not had any trouble with that. So at this point, we're not sure what the heck's wrong with him. Bad news is we're leaving. Well, she's flying out Monday. She's got something she's got to do in Phoenix. So she's flying out Monday, coming back on Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning we're heading up. So I don't really have any vet around here that I really want to trust. So we're hoping he does all right until we get to, the vet said that they would give us stuff that would help him stop throwing up. So we can't get it here because it's just a mess. So we got it sent to our pharmacy back in Arizona. There's none here, but there's some on the way to Milwaukee. So on Wednesday, we can stop and pick that up, and then he can have it until we get to Sturgis. In Sturgis, we could always take him back to the place where he got bit by the rattlesnake and see what they think about it. So I don't know. He's 11 years old. I don't want to spend a lot of money because big dogs don't live real long. The longest lab we've ever had made it to 15. Most of them make it 12 and a half. 13 is usually pretty good. So at this point, we do not know what the heck is wrong with him. So Big Ben's in the house, and well, that's what Tam thought was the snake bite. She thought maybe, because there's always, you're putting poison back in when you get bit by a rattler. And she thinks it kind of started that way. Well, we've talked to a couple of vets, and they said if it would have been something like that, he would have been full-blown right away. If he would have got the shot a month ago and this all started, then it would be explained. But being now it's almost been a year, in about a week, it's going to be a year because it was right after the 4th. Well, actually, right now might be the year. It was right after the 4th of July that he got bit before we got into Sturgis. So we'll see what happens. So let's see what they say. So no, he's been up until this trip, leaving Arizona. He has been at our daughter's house all year. He did not come to Florida with us, so he stayed at our daughter's and didn't really do any traveling at all. He was already starting to get sick there. He was doing it about once a week. So we didn't know all the labs we've had have always had very sensitive stomachs. So he's always had to eat fish or lamb. He couldn't eat anything that's got meat products in it. So typically fish is what most of the food we had. He had good food for a long time from Tractor Supply. He did really well on that. And of course they don't make it anymore, like everything else. So our daughter went out and got the Pro Plan, our Purina's Pro Plan for sensitive stomachs, $80 a bag. We bought one of those right before we left. So then he acted like he didn't really want to eat that. So we went to Walmart the other day. We bought a couple little bags and said, let's see if we can find something else he'll eat. So he gobbled it up. And she smashed it all up so it'd be good in his stomach, put water with it. So it was like, he can't eat canned food because it goes out of him as fast as it goes in him. So it looked like he ate the first round. A couple hours later, she gave him a little bit more. And before we went to bed, he was like, I'm hungry again. So we gave him some more, and then here it all came right back out. So then she went to the last 2 days. She's been giving him nothing but rice and water. Figures, hey, the Chinese people live on it. So we'll see how he does. Because she thought, well, let's just let him have that for a week, and we'll see how he does. And maybe there's something in his stomach. I'm even thinking about maybe seeing about getting some antibiotics for him. Maybe he's got some kind of virus. But you would think out of all the tests they did, they would find something already. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said this may be his last trip. Now, Julie, we might check into that. And that's what I said. That's what you were. B-Ball was saying that, if dog still has an appetite, that's kind of what I say. He still eats, he's still going to the bathroom outside, he's still taking a dump, so his body is working, he is losing weight because he's not eating as much as he did. He was about 89 pounds, we'll have to see when we weigh him next, but he's probably dumped at least 5 to 10 pounds lighter now than he was before we left 2 weeks ago. So, I don't know, but what's funny is when he's traveling with us, he doesn't get sick in the truck. So he's not, because when we travel, he typically doesn't eat till nighttime. Or during the day, normally like where we're at now. Now he is in a different place. They do have a dog that kind of sniffs on him the whole time he's there. So, it could be he's a very nervous dog anyway. So it could be part of it, could be that. So like I say, we'll see. He sleeps downstairs with us in the basement. We got a finished basement. And so he's all by himself down there with us. So he hasn't had a whole lot of trouble at night. But see, with Rowan, he when it comes to meat, he doesn't do real well with. So I don't know. So at this point, we don't know, because you would think feeding rice, because normally that's what we used to do, all the dogs we had. Anytime they got diarrhea or got sick, you feed them rice and hamburger, and that kind of, after a couple of rounds of that, usually straightens them right back up. Well, that's why she decided, let's just do rice and that's it and see if it straightened up. Well, today, while we were gone, he exploded again.
He did really good. He wanted to play, and he did really good. And the rice, that was it.
So your cousin said to try probiotics. I don't know what is probiotics.
He used to take some of that. I used to get him some calming pills because he'd get nervous, and then I had him on probiotics too. But then that's kind of when he started throwing up.
Also said Fort. I don't know. I can't even read what that is. Fort.
Fort oil packets.
So Stephanie also says she agrees with Julie too.
Yeah.
Rice and brown gravy. So he's definitely eating the rice. He doesn't mind not having nothing on it. He gobbles it up. And so
Is there more people coming?
well, just see if anybody shows up. So far,
I know. I wrote. What's her name?
and
I
so.
got 2 more people that might show up, but they didn't answer my text. But I said.
So Hendra, hi. Morning to you. It's evening here. You must be over there. And Ratfink's on. You're down there in the Keys. Are you still down there in the Keys? And catching the big fish. I wrote you on the other one you put up the other day and asked if you caught anything, but didn't see if you wrote back yet. So having trouble with Charlie. Issues going on with him. So what's the temperature down there in the Keys?
Hot. 83.
In the Keys?
Oh, in the Keys.
Oh, here it's 83. It's hot. Humid. Yes, it's supposed to be like in the 90s tomorrow.
We were out, and we came out of the Sam's, and it was nice and cool.
Yesterday was better. Today it's already.
It's like, now we're going to get a tornado.
Yeah, quite a bit of debris in my house. Gutter damage. Get trees all out.
So that's one of the reasons we moved away from here is because of humidity. Problem with here is in the wintertime, they get the Arctic air comes down, gets below 0. Not uncommon to be in the 20s below. Summertime, it gets the Gulf air, and it heats right back up again.
Well, it shouldn't have these big ones down there.
So it's 94. Is the humidity high down there in Ratfink? So it's 70. Says it feels like jump now. Now it is 89, 55. No, it jumped back. It probably adjusted from wherever you were at. Dropping down to 34 people on. Holy smokes! Nobody wants to hear about Charlie.
How many?
But there's only 34 now. We're losing people. Not very interested in Charlie. Yeah, super high humidity. Yeah. Probably getting about as miserable as it is here.
They've got a big old, well, it didn't hit the house or anything, but they got a big old, is it maple tree out front?
Rapture Ranch says to try the gummies. Sometimes that comforts their stomach.
The probiotic gummies?
Oh, yeah.
I've got some. Can they have people ones? That's what I take, those little gummies I take in the morning. I'm sure he'll eat them. He's got a sweet tooth.
He'll eat anything.
So, I don't know, that's all. It's about this big around your tree out front. And almost half
We're losing
of it.
people. So where we're at today, we're over here in Belleville, Illinois. This is where we grew up at. Just came on for a little bit. Just wanted to do a little bit of a live. A lot of you might be going over there pretty soon. The Monkey Man's coming on. I think he's coming on East Coast time. I think it's 8 o'clock. And here it'd be 7 o'clock. So he ain't on yet. But he was in St. Louis, but we didn't get a chance. Well, I thought about him today. He already left. I guess he only came for the 4th and left. I don't know if he left that day or the day after. I don't know. And I don't know.
Maybe the weekend before.
Well, he was here for the 4th, so I don't know. I don't know when he got here. I don't know when he left. We were going to call him and never got around to it. Thinking about tomorrow because we were thinking about going to Anheuser-Busch because they're having Grant's Farm Day at the brewery outside. So nobody really responded if they wanted to see any of that or not. We won't do a live, but we'll film some of it. I don't know. We're big St. Louis people, Anheuser-Busch, which it doesn't own it anymore. But it was a big thing, us growing up, things like that. But I understand the Bud Light issue. We talked about that a while ago. Actually, I don't see anybody drinking Bud Light, but I do see some Budweiser. I think he's drinking Budweiser, Michelob Ultra. Yeah, so a lot of the Busch beer and stuff. This is a big area for Busch beer. Stag beer, if any of you know what that is, used to be brewed here in Belleville. And so...
Pass on Budweiser.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But we're going to go check it all out. Mainly I called because I wanted to see if they were even offering tours. Thought maybe people were going over there and, causing chaos. But they had this thing outside. But they said tours are going. Now they charge for it. It's $15 to do a tour. It used to be free. And used to be at the brewery. Used to be the employees could drink all day long, all the beer they wanted. Yeah. I don't know. They probably don't do it anymore. Now it's owned by...
Probably OSHA. So you got that out.
And so we decided not to do the tour. We're going to go over there and see. She likes to see the Clydesdales. And they're probably not going to come out this year because of all the bad stuff with Bud Light. I said Bud Light should just give up Bud Light, change the name, put it in a different can, call it something else. Because I don't think it's ever going to recoup from this. I just watched the video a while ago and got a little different meaning about some of the people that are upset about it. Not so much that it's a transgender, but it's a dude that's supposed to be a girl now, promoting this to other little girls and stuff like this. And our youth is getting so screwed up as it is, and that's what they were saying was more of the issue was that, and that Anheuser-Busch, or the company that owns Anheuser-Busch now, has not come out and said anything good or bad about it. Well, they're on that teetering line. You go one way, you go the other way, it's going to go. But the bad news is, which most people don't realize, is most of the hard-working people in the United States drinks beer. And that's the way it is. You don't see the really rich people drinking a whole lot of beer. You don't see corporate America people. I wouldn't even doubt the guy that runs the beer, CEO of the company, even drinks any of the damn beer that they sell. Probably drinking highballs or whatever the hell, wine or whatever they're doing. So that's the problem with a lot of America is people don't realize who goes to the movies, who does NASCAR, who comes to motorcycle rallies, who's the one spending our hard-earned money on these businesses. And that's the part that it's sad that they're doing it to Bud Light and they made a big spectacle, and there's been a lot of other stuff going on way before this that people should have stood up for and said, hey, enough is enough. And, like a lot of these actors, if you were Roseanne Barr, it was a sin because you did something, but when some of these other comedians do stuff, cutting Trump's head off and stuff, that was okay. But it's great. What's just like what's going on?
Duck.
What?
They said cold duck. That's a whiskey, isn't it?
Oh, is that what the rich
Cold
people
duck,
drink?
Cold duck, is that a whiskey?
No, cold duck.
Cold duck. Hey, I thought it was an old man whiskey. You want to put your fish in our box? You gonna take it home?
No, we were gonna take it home.
I'm gonna take yours home for you.
So yeah, it's a whole nother thing going on, and like I say, it's a double standard world that we're in right now, especially in America, where one person, if you do it, it's okay. If somebody else does it, it's a sin, and the world's getting bad. And that's one of the reasons I like doing motorcycle rallies. You don't really have to deal with a lot of what's going on. Cheap wine from the 70s, cold duck, Bud Harley.
I like strawberry wine. That's what I drink.
Delbert, I have been wanting to, I don't really want to buy a case. I wanted to get the Harley. Well, see, that's what.
You want to buy like a 6-pack.
Yeah, I don't really want a whole. I figure when we get up to Milwaukee, I can probably buy a couple cans. I just wanted to put it on a shelf. And a lot of people are downgrading Harley Davidson for doing that. You can go back and watch Ozark Rider. He did a great video on that, talking about corporate America. This, with Harley putting it on the can, was probably figured out about a year ago. So it had nothing to do with what's going on in March with Bud Light and all that. So don't blame them for that. Green Day, that's a whole nother issue. But what's bad about what's happening to corporate America is most of these people that run corporate America don't know nothing about nothing. They make all these decisions based on what their engineers tell them and the numbers tell them and all this stuff. So they don't really know what we do at this level. And that's what screws up what's going on, because these guys make the decision. It's like Green Day. They probably have no idea that the guy, one of the was a lead singer or something, that badmouthed America and all that stuff, and that it's, why would you have it with American-made Harley Davidson? It's just. So we'll see how many people, because we have a pass now, media pass, that will get us in there. So we won't stay for the whole concert, but we will go by to see how many people are at the Green Day concert. We'll see if that affects that event, which would be interesting. Just like Bud Light. A lot of people ask me about Bud Light. Looking around here.
Whatever you want, I don't care. Just don't throw it down my throat.
Two. I see 2 Bud Lights out of probably 100 beers sitting on people's tables. So people are, there's a lot of people that don't get into social media, may not hear all the stuff that's going on. But it's, to me, I'm not going to beat you over with a beer bottle if you drink a Bud Light. Once again, it's America. That's part of what's wrong with this country, is we are America. As a citizen, American citizen, you have a right to make a choice of what you want to do. And if you want to drink Bud Light, that's great. If you want to boycott Bud Light, that's great too. Because that's your right, because you are in America. And that's what it was built on.
All this stuff happens.
So let's see what everybody's saying. Right. Think you are burnt. Is it from fishing so much? I guess you got all burnt up. Julie says you got to know your customers, which you do. Green Day will pack them in, and you're probably right. Strange Green Day for Trace Adkins, but Trace Adkins, isn't he the one that's not doing real well? When they had cancer, I think. I'm not sure, but. Yeah, they could have picked a lot of different choices. A lot of people don't always, even at the Buffalo Chip. There's the headliner for Saturday. Nothing wrong with the guy, but I wouldn't have put him as a headliner.
I know.
In a year, it's kind of like if you would have put Chris Stapleton 5 years ago on Saturday night on the main stage at the Chip. That would be the same thing. Now Chris Stapleton could headline any night at the Chip, headline anywhere. This guy that's playing Saturday night could very well be, in a year from now, be as big or bigger than Chris Stapleton. I've listened to him on YouTube or Spotify, or wherever I'm listening to him at, and they are very, very good. But I've never heard any of the music on any radio station that I listen to. They're out of Texas, and
Where's your next trip?
And we'll see how it all goes.
When we leave here Tuesday.
So let me look at my comments and see what we got going on. Toby is in bad shape. Yep, I thought he was. Oh, that was Toby Keith. Yep.
Can you take a tour?
And
Yeah, we're going to do the
Yeah.
museum.
So-
We got some media passes.
I don't
So, we
know.
should
So
be
we're
able
still
to
at
get
32. Not a whole lot for tonight, but we did pick up some people we haven't seen in a while. Maybe they'll boo Green Day off the stage. Who knows? Well, the bad thing when you do concerts, it's kind of like down in Panama City. Half the people that go to the concerts have nothing to do with motorcycles. You know, they're selling tickets to anybody. So you don't have to be a Harley owner to go to the concert. So if I lived in Milwaukee, and I'm a Green Day fan. No, I'm not. Green Day was all right this day. I had never really, I don't follow a lot of news anymore because I get tired of hearing all this stuff. All they do is stir the pot. Nobody gives you any solutions of what you should do. So I got to the point where I don't really, I kind of listen to the weather, which is wrong 99% of the time. But so, I don't know. So that's what you do. So, but Green Day's not a big fan of one of my choices. I knew Nookie or a couple other songs that they had. Not Time of Your Life. Maybe it is one of the songs is Time of Life and whatever the second half is. Closing Time or whatever it is. And, but I do know a couple of the songs we used to do. I used to be a DJ and did high school events and weddings and all that. So during their time, I knew those songs and played them songs, but didn't really know anything about them. I didn't even realize they were foreigners. You know, I mean, I don't pay that much attention to them. Not one of the bands that I follow. We're more of a 70s, a little bit of 80s more than anything else. We were really big in the country in its heyday. We still listen to country on the radio, but I don't keep up with all the different. There's so many people coming in and out of country. I can't keep track of them all. So let me look at my comments again. So Rat thinks to try some shark. Yep, Julie, you're right. And that's kind of what you got to do. You know, there's Clint Black. Clint Black would be okay. What I really would have liked to have seen was George Strait. George Strait come out here at the end and did some concerts. I have never, ever got to see George Strait. But what's bad about somebody like George Strait, it's kind of like Aerosmith and some of the other people that we followed for years. They have 1,000 songs. So, you know, the songs you really want to hear, you may not necessarily hear. Last time I went to Aerosmith, we were so disappointed because we grew up with Aerosmith in the 70s, and that's what we wanted to hear. Same thing with Kiss. We got to see Kiss in the 90s or something, and she didn't like it because same thing. We grew up with Kiss with the Kiss Alive album. That was what we played over and over and over. Back when you had 8-track. And had to wait for the song to skip to the next track. And but yeah, it's yeah, George Strait would just be great. I would really enjoy seeing George Strait. I would have always liked to see Randy Travis too. I really liked Randy Travis. You know, he had the stroke now. He's never going to come back out again. But I mean, I never got to see him. I've seen Garth Brooks a dozen times. Well, not a dozen, probably 5 or 6 times. We've seen the Judds. We've seen Brooks and Dunn. We've seen Billy Ray Cyrus back when Billy Ray Cyrus started out. We've seen what else have we seen country? I don't know. We've seen a lot of concerts. But the only rock and roll concert that I haven't seen that I'd like to have seen is I'd like to have seen Boston. We've seen Styx, REO Speedwagon. They're actually from, my brother-in-law here actually went to school with one of REO Speedwagon's guys. They're actually from this area. When they talk about Riverside 157, that's the highway that's just out here. So we grew up with those songs. Kiss. My sister actually seen Kiss here at Forest Park back before they ever put makeup or anything on. So it was, you know, so we had, being in St. Louis here, we had a lot of advantages to see a lot of the big groups and stuff come through here before they were big. If any of you ever heard of Head East, they are actually from this area. REO Speedwagon, for instance, when we lived out in Washington, Missouri, they actually played in the 70s, early 80s, they played the Catholic schools prom, dance, homecoming, or whatever it was. And so they came here and did that. Yeah, not very many. I was talking about some of the bands we've seen. And, but George Thorogood, we've seen him. That's TAM'S Big Toe. We've seen, what else have we seen? Jimmy Buffett, been to Jimmy Buffett a bunch of times. They had a great place, used to be in California, in Irvine, California. They would open up the parking lot at noon. And
that's how it was.
What?
Gave you the back seat to it, everything.
And so it's just a lot of, so there's somebody who knows Head East. I can't see the names, I ain't got my glasses on. And Oh, Julie knew because Julie was from this area. And but I mean, they used to do a lot of playing at all the bars here, and they got big for a little while. You know, she's seen Kenny Rogers a couple of times. She's a big Kenny Rogers fan. We've seen Charlie Daniels. I've seen him about 3 or 4 times over the years. Got to see him right before he died. Best concert. He played against Travis Tritt, was the opening act, or the headliner. Charlie Daniels did 100 times better than what he did. We've seen Willie Nelson. We've seen ELO. We've seen. I can't think of that. I'm losing my mind. I can't think of. It was a girl that was married to somebody on Las Vegas. She's talking, so I can't ask her. She used to be with a bunch of black guys that sang. I don't know. Can't think of their name. Somebody might come up with it. Seen her. We've seen a lot of. We've been to a lot of concerts. Aerosmith, Foreigner, Journey. What else have we seen? Foreigner. I said Styx, didn't I already? We've seen them already. I don't know. Just a lot of different people that we've seen. And Kid Rock a bunch of times. We've seen Kid Rock about 4 times over the years. Fergie, that's it. We've seen Fergie at our Orange County Fair. And I can't believe it, Washington, Missouri. Small town. I know, we were talking about Hetties. And they're having Nelly come in. It's pretty much a white town, and they're having Nelly come. Well, see, it was big back there when Nelly's actually from St. Louis. And when I was DJing, the kids all asked for the song when it first came out. It was Country Grammar. I was out in a town called Herman, Missouri, doing a high school dance, and they come up and said, Country Grammar, one Country Grammar. Well, I'm thinking it's a country song. You know, I'm looking, and we always buy, I used to get promo-only CDs, which are the ones that the radio plays. They're all edited and stuff, to play at weddings and stuff. We never played foul language at any of our events. I only play edited stuff, just like you do on the radio. So it was like Country Grammar, and these kids kept asking for it. I'm like, I have no idea. And they said, Nelly, I never heard of nobody like that. And it took about 3 months after that before Nelly came out.
There we go.
During that same time, we were doing, actually maybe she's giving her a card out and made me forget about what I was going to say. And let's look at your things. Cheap Trick. We've seen Cheap Trick. We have seen Cheap Trick. I can't talk.
I'm not even
Peter Frampton. We have not seen Peter Frampton, but she won't see Peter Frampton now. Oh, did we? Oh, yeah, he was sick or something, wasn't he?
No, he was there with Steve Miller Band down at the fairgrounds in Orange County. And he came out.
She used to like when he had long hair and everything. Now she thinks he's a goomer from the moon.
Peter Frampton, have you seen him lately? Bald. He don't have his little blonde curly hair no more.
He looks like an old geezer.
Oh.
Looks older than me. And,
He
so,
won't admit he's old. He says he feels old. Ringtone?
I'm so old I can't.
Thank you.
And so, yeah. So we're just going through songs that people have seen. Seen Alice Cooper. That's the first concert I ever took her to. I actually seen.
I've ever been to.
I actually seen Aerosmith and all these other
Doobie Brothers.
back in the early '70s because one of my friends was a sister of one of her friends. So we used to have a thing here called the Mississippi River. And so a lot of times we got to tag along with them to see some of these concerts and stuff. And if ever Bruce Hall would watch our channel, he would tell you all about it. It was the greatest place in the world. It was out at the college. It was like a miniature Woodstock out there. I know, you took me a few times to that. And back in the heyday, it was early 70s when that all was going on. They had all these different concerts out there. But what killed it, they said, was they started saying they wanted more like operas and symphonies and stuff like that. But when they started doing that, nobody came to them. So, yeah. But it was a wild, crazy place. You brought your blanket. They had seats down front, but it probably was like a 100-acre place, and it was a big old hill, and you put your blanket down, and just a big old party. Everybody doing drugs. It was just like a miniature Woodstock. And I lived that when I was about 12 years old. So let's see what else we got going. Iron Maiden. We've never seen Iron Maiden. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Never seen them. Kenny Loggins. We never seen. Doobie Brothers. Yep. I wish. Yeah, Debris. I wish I would have seen Elvis. That would have been a great honor. I wasn't that much. I was 76. I was 16 years old. Whatever year it is, that's how old we are. We were born in 1960. So you know how old we are. And so whatever year it is, that kind of tells me about my birthday. She's in August. I'm in October. So we have late in the year birthday. She'll actually have her birthday probably at the end of the rally. Will be her birthday coming up. Frank Zappa and the Mothers. Yeah. But yeah, we used to have, even at this, in Orange County, they had an area there that you could sit in the grass up there, but it wasn't as big as that. More seating and stuff. But some of the concerts you've seen?
Oh my gosh. I've seen a lot. I don't know. I can't name them all.
What's some of the people that we've seen up there in the Riverside? No, I didn't even do half of them. I told them we should write them all down.
At Riverport?
No, at Riverside Casino.
Oh. John Michael Montgomery, Georgia Satellites. I don't know, I can't think. We saw George Thorogood, that was at the Edgewater. And
It's Bob Seger. The Eagles. We've seen the Eagles when they were still all together, all live.
Rod Stewart we saw out there.
I said Fergie. I didn't remember Fergie, but somebody reminded me it was Fergie.
Yeah.
We always sat at the very top of the pond in Anaheim, all the way at the top. But it was a great concert. They best
Almost
one.
got in a fight there too.
Yeah. Somebody almost got caused a fight. She wouldn't have been. She would have just been kind of standing on the sidelines, where me and Michael would have been throwing guys off the balcony. And let's see what everybody else says. David Acewood's on.
Oh, I know.
David Crosby. Lynn Anderson. We've seen Loretta Lynn back when she was back there. We've seen Jim Stanford years ago, Spiders and Snakes. We've seen, who are the people that we've seen?
Glenn
Campbell,
Kenny
we've seen.
Rogers.
Yeah, I said Kenny Rogers. That was her big fan. She was in love with Kenny Rogers. Till we went to about 3 concerts and they sang the exact same songs, exact same jokes, everything in a row. She's like, I ain't never going back again. And, but yeah, that's kind of like when you watch Jackal. A lot of times, a lot of concerts are like that. If you've seen them, like if you've seen Jackal at Panama City, the odds are it's going to be the exact same show when you go to see them in Sturgis, because they normally do like kind of the whole same set all year long. And sometimes they do the same jokes, say the same thing, but they assume it's different groups of people. But a lot of times with some of these groups, I know for Jackal, for instance, there's a lot of people that go to almost all the shows. They travel all over the United States following them around.
Jefferson Starship. Yeah, we saw the Oak Ridge Boys. That was fun.
Yep, we've seen the Oak Ridge Boys. What's the one that sings Elvira?
That's Oak Ridge Boys.
Who's the other one?
Alabama.
Alabama. We've seen Alabama down there in Branch 2. Alabama we've seen. I said Garth Brooks, we've seen that. Billy Ray Cyrus, we've seen him back in the day. And Brooks and Dunn, also Wynota and the Judds.
Vince Gill and Sweethearts of the Rodeo.
Yep, we've seen that. Well, that was actually.
I had parents that watched.
Well, back then, what it was is it was called the Country Jamboree, and they had it at Riverport. And what it was is they had all these new artists. It was an all-day thing. It started like at noon and went to like midnight, and they had all these bands. That's where we seen all these people. Brooks and Dunn. Everybody was just. It was when country first got hot in the early '80s. And people were doing that. Was it '90s? And so they had it over there. So we went and we heard all these people. Of course, we didn't know who any of them were.
Well, some of them we knew, because I think that Boots Good Boogie, Achy Breaky Heart, all of them. So they were just up and coming, and they just had them all there, and we saw them all.
And so that's how we seen a lot. That's what kind of started our, like I say, when we were 16, we went to St. Louis and took her to Alice Cooper. That was the first concert I'd taken her to. I'd been to some before that. I'd still like to see Alice Cooper again. He does a pretty good show. Very theatrical. Wouldn't want to sit in the front row, but I don't mind. But that's the other thing we found out by doing concerts. Once you sit in the first 12 rows, you can never sit anywhere else. Because it's a whole, you forgot one of your favorite concerts. First row.
Oh, Oh, Beach Boys.
Yep. Seen the Beach Boys before they had their 50th anniversary, and it was the best. They had
Don Stamos.
was playing the drums, and right after that they came on TV and did their version. The one in live we seen in Pomona was 100 times better than the one they put on the show on TV, and it was like wow. But it was what was nice about the Beach Boys was
I knew every song.
they didn't play anything new. And that's one thing she hates, like ZZ Top.
It was like dueling.
Yeah, you go to ZZ Top, they plays the whole album. He plays the whole album while they're there. I don't know any of their stupid songs. I don't want to hear any of the stupid songs. And that's why I always tell people it's always better to actually see a tribute band because you know they're only going to play the hits. And if you get a good tribute band, they can sound just like the real thing. People I would have liked to have seen is I would have liked to have seen AC/DC. Rolling Stones I might be interested in. I would have liked to see Paul McCartney, but he's deaf now and he doesn't sing as good as he used to. So I wouldn't. It would heartbreak me. It's like when we went and seen Journey with the new kid. We actually got up and walked out. It was because we're so used to Steve and Perry that to hear that new kid, it's like it is nothing like it is.
If you want to, or I can take it. Either or. Okay. All righty.
Oh, my sister, cup took off there. Got water over there. My cup almost took off the table there. So brother and sister, all right. Sister and my brother-in-law are going to be leaving. Bob Seger, yeah, Bob Seger was great. Rush, we never got to see Rush. Rich and Big, or Big and Rich.
I never saw them.
Yeah, you see them. They were in Deadwood last year. I think I remember them playing over there, but I don't think we ever made it over there. Buck Owens. We did see Roy Clark. I don't know if Buck Owens was there. I think it was just Roy Clark. Tom Petty, I never got to see Tom Petty either. B.B. King, that would be a neat one to see.
Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty.
And did you write Brian? See if they were still
I
coming?
did. I asked them twice and they didn't respond. So
They ain't coming. Might not be anybody else coming to show up.
I guess not.
So we'll see. That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, we can't. Just got home, still working, dang short on work weeks. So I guess they're not coming.
Oh. My old best friend ain't gonna make it tonight. So Mike's on. Good afternoon, gang. Well, I guess it is 2 hours earlier. 6:15 here. You guys going bowling after the fish fry? Probably not.
So what fish fry?
Want to know if he's going to go bowling after the fish fry. She did. About killed herself. Remember, she's kind of half handicapped.
I need to stand up too.
And yeah, see, she sat too long. Got to get up and move around. Too much soda. So we are filming some stuff. I just don't have, their internet sucks so bad, I just can't get any good internet up. Yeah, I usually drink a lot of tea, but today we had some black tea at the restaurant we were at this morning, and black tea kind of messes up my stomach. So I decided to have a Pepsi, and so far I only drank one, and it's watered down now. So 38, got a few more people on. Appreciate you coming on. We're down here in Belleville, Illinois, zip code 62223. And we're at Cat and the Fiddle. It's a tavern. Illinois, Southern Illinois is a big German/Catholic town. It has been in the past. And we have a lot of bars, lots of bars. Not as many as they used to be. Belleville used to be, we grew up in a really nice town. It was really great. Now it's kind of, it's getting to be like a lot of the big cities are getting to be. And we'll leave it at that. We've lived around here all of our life. I just visited my aunt that used to live in Ferguson a couple years ago. She finally moved after all that happened. So yes, we know all about the inner city. And when people talk about that, even LA, they don't really know what we know and what we've had to deal with in all of our life. We're 63. I've been dealing with stuff like this since the early 60s when I was a kid. So when people try to tell me, you don't understand. You don't understand. I can take you some places that you'd be scared.
You really shouldn't go.
Yeah. And we even did that back in the 80s. She didn't like driving through these towns. But I never had any trouble. But
well, I used to work when I did my x-ray clinicals was in St. Mary's down in East St. Louis. So, see a lot of stuff down there.
yeah. A lot of people shooting each other. Kind of like
I
Chicago.
went down there because I got more experience than
Oh yeah, she's
most
seen
of the other
everything.
people.
Seen everything. East St. Louis encroaching. It's Belleville, not Bellevue.
I was born in East St. Louis.
Hell, Vegas. I think Vegas might be better off than Belleville is.
In St. Louis now?
No, she said Vegas. She said Vegas and Belleville in the beginning, Vegas in the bottom make it the same town. But Vegas isn't. Vegas, I don't know. A lot of shootings in Vegas too, but not. Spell checks failed. But there's the Bellevue, which is up in, I think it's up in Chicago.
But it's B-U-E, not B-I-E-W.
Actually, there's a Belleville in a lot of states.
There's one in Texas we passed.
It's kind of like Springfield. That's why when the Simpsons used Springfield, it kind of related to a lot of cities. We thought because Springfield, Illinois was the capital, it was about Springfield, but we didn't have no nuclear plant up there.
Oh. Could be the chicken bone lady over there in the purple.
I don't see me in the purple.
Behind us. Look at the camera.
I don't think she's eating bones, is she?
No, I don't think she's bones.
Chicken bone, chicken bone. I don't remember that lady being that big. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that. And for liking our channel. And we'll be getting soon back to motorcycle stuff. We're probably not going to have much videos coming out till possibly next week. She's going to be gone Monday and Tuesday. Come back Tuesday night from her adventure she has to go on. And I might go up to the bar and do some editing and send some videos up there to have for next week.
I'm going to try to make it to Columbia to see Kathy because she's got some stuff going on too. So I told her maybe one night we could go down there and have dinner or maybe go to Dairy Queen and have an ice cream.
ZZ Twin Cam's on.
Yep.
So, it's just another exciting day in Illinois. And that's what Mike had to say.
I made some phone calls, Mike, but I never got any responses back.
We're still working on all that. So give us next week to see what's going on, and we can make a decision at that point.
Thank you, Deba. Because they like us and they like our channel too.
Thank you. Appreciate you checking out the channel. And not a whole lot going on. I'm not really looking for a lot of motorcycle content. I don't know. We kind of gave you a little bit of our adventures coming across. Right now, I can't figure it out. We just don't get very many views right now, and I don't really know why. We've done a couple of, I thought, pretty good videos on Sturgis here in the last week or so.
I saw that too.
What?
Adam's in that Deadwood already.
Yeah. They're doing the three-wheel rally. That's actually the same weekend as Milwaukee. So they like to get there early because they want to do some riding and stuff like that.
They like Deadwood.
You know. And so they're over now at the truck stop across the street from the Harley dealer. The one that's got the windmill on it. They're in that parking lot. And I think it's stay there for free. So they were actually going into the truck stop and having some truck stop showers.
There you
I think
go.
it was last night because they're a day behind what you see.
Eating the phone. The lady behind us. Oh, it's there. Now she's eating.
Karaoke. We used to do karaoke. We ran karaoke.
We did karaoke here probably a couple times.
I think we did. Did they close that door off? We did it in front of the door? I think we did. I think we did do karaoke here a couple times. She sings more than I do. I sing a few songs. Probably won't do it anymore because it's been a long time. It takes you a little practice to get going and get your vocals going halfway decent. Yeah, poor Goliath, I think, is going to die soon. His poor truck. Are you guys heading to Sturgis in a couple weeks? Yes. So what we're doing is next week, Wednesday, we head to Milwaukee for the 120th. So we'll have a bunch of videos going on about that. What's probably going to happen in Milwaukee is we're going to, depending on what's going on, we're probably going to do a lot of lives from there because there's so much going on and we've never been there before. But we will shoot a lot of video. Not sure when that's going to come out. If Sturgis, because as soon as we get to Sturgis, we got to do a bike adventure week. Now that's not too crazy because they go out all day and they're going on rides all day. So we'll have the middle of the day, but we may start already going out and visiting some of our contents to give you good content. And so we'll see how that all works. So Milwaukee may be a while before you see it because we want to, once we hit Sturgis, we want to hit Sturgis running and give you guys great content, give you all the things going on. We got a couple new restaurants we want to hit, give you some reviews on them, and do our rides, all that great stuff. Because we got a bunch of you coming to the Buffalo Chip to party with us. So we want to get all that set up and get everything going. Can't carry a tune. Yeah, Mike, you're probably right. Did you do a new cam in your bike? Yes, I did new cams last year in Laconia, a year ago. Don't ask me what numbers they are. I think they're 525s, 528s. I'd have to go back and look. When I do stuff on my bike, I can look stuff up. I'd rather go like I do. I go to Speeds. They've done thousands of bikes, thousands of cam jobs over the year. I let them tell me what I should get and put in my bike. I'm not somebody that's going to put something in because I seen it on a video or I seen somebody recommend it. You know, when you do stuff on your bike, it's tough. That's one of the reasons we don't do a lot of videos pushing products, because what I like might not be what you like. So like when I did my handlebar one, I kind of told you that I do love my handlebars. They're not extended reach. They're back a little bit. So when I can actually make slower U-turns now than I could before. But I mean, it's so much, instead of my arms being out, they're bent just a little bit. I love them. I would do it again in a heartbeat. My stereo, I wasn't real overly impressed with my Rockford Fosgate but 90 miles an hour, she can hear every word of the song. Because it's got no bass, none at all. But everybody you talk to that really knows about stereo installers, basically about 40 miles an hour, you're not going to hear any bass anyway because it's going behind you. The highs are what you're going to hear. So what do you want? You want to ride around town with your bike thumping? Or do you want to be on the highway riding and hear your tunes? I'd rather be on the highway hearing my tunes. So I'm going to leave my Rockford just like it is because we can hear it great driving down with our helmets on and everything. Don't even need the headsets. Excellent. Can hear every word, every song. So, pretty happy with that. My digital gauges, I love my digital gauges. If you got a touring bike, put digital gauges in, you will not be sorry. Not at all. Jumping jack. So you're coming up Friday of the rally then. What you can do is email us, which I don't have the email on here.
Contact us.
You can do it the easy way. Just do bobandtams@yahoo.com, or you can do contact us at bobandtams.com, or you can just do bobandtams.com, come to our website, and you can click contact us. We'll send you a phone number that you can text. Anybody that has our phone number, you text us only, because we leave the phone off most of the time, and we don't look constantly at the phone. So, you know, if you were there Friday and said, hey, where are you guys going to be Saturday morning? I want to catch up with you guys. I'll know Saturday where I'm at. If you text me right now and say, what are you going to do Thursday? I have no idea. I have no idea what we're doing yet there.
Grab a mic and sing, wake up. I said they don't have karaoke tonight. Have to find some place that's got it. They used to have it all over.
So are you asking me what helmet do we wear? We pretty much, most of our helmets are Harley Davidson's. She's got is it a Bell? Your helmet a Bell? I don't know. Well, she got in a really bad accident. We talked about that before on our channel. Almost got killed. And the insurance company, we had Progressive at that time, told her to go out and buy the best helmet she could find. So we found a $550 full face helmet that she's got. That's her good helmet. I'll have to look at it. It might not be Bell. I'll have to look. It's at home.
I know, I can't.
Oh, maybe it's in the trailer. So normally we wear half helmets most of the time, 3/4 once in a while. Normally the only time we really wear the full face, flip down shield, the whole, is when we're on long trips or if it's cold. We'll wear those. I have a camera mount on that helmet, and then on my half helmet I got a camera mount. We actually need to change out our two half helmets we wear. We've been wearing them for probably 10 or 15 years. So it's probably way time to change them out.
Well, we both got them painted. I've got angel wings on mine, and he's got a...
Back when Harley Davidson, during the rally, used to paint. And this is back in we looked the other day because we were there when American Pickers, Frank and Mike were there when they sold the Indian. We're in the background walking while they're at the very end kicking up their heels and stuff. We're there. If you stop your TV, you'll see us. But my brother-in-law wanted to see it. We had to look it up. It was 2012. That's how long ago that was. looks like.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this
21
year.
years ago.
Yep.
10
So
years ago.
maybe we'll stand in the same spot this year if I remember, and show you where we're at. And you can go back to 2012 and you can look at that video and see where we're at. I told her, don't look at the camera or they'll cut us out. So, but
He's got his order and he's going to leave soon. He didn't get to really talk.
so how long we been on? Doesn't say.
1 hour and 26 minutes.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Is there anything else on a 15-year-old helmet? That's barely a step above a tinfoil hat. But it's never. My helmet has dropped on the ground. It does have a couple magic marker highlighter covered up the black. So I do need a new helmet. A lot of times when we look at a helmet, I'd like to get another Harley one. I mean, some of them have helmets now. They want $300 for them. I ain't paying $300 for a freaking helmet. Robert's on.
I got a helmet. What do I need to do?
Right.
We're not coming to Sturgis this year. We have gone the past 2 years, but plan to go back for the 85th. If all goes well, we should be at the chip on the 85th. We'll know more at the end of this year. There's Neil's on.
He said he's in a fish fry.
I'm coming
He's in the
live.
Midwest.
Oh, he's in the Midwest too.
Yeah,
He's
that's
up
what I
in,
said. He's in a fish fry.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee is where he's at. Neil, yep. Mike's saying Neil, yep. And so, I guess, Neil, you got your thing working again because you got back on. So, yep, we're almost ready to wrap this up. We'll try to do a live on Sunday. There's a bar up here that's got really great internet right up the street from my sister's place. And we may do a live. We'll see how it is. If it is, it's going to be our normal time that we do it. 4 o'clock Pacific time, well, Neil's not there. 5 o'clock Mountain time, 6 o'clock Central time, and 7 o'clock Eastern time. I guess I got that. That would be the time we come on Sunday if we do the live, which we'll probably try to do it unless something's going on. So, at that, we're going to leave you.
These guys are the bomb.
All right, so
Glad to see my family.
say your thing.
Happy to see everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
There you go. I don't know what we're going to probably just do a short tomorrow. We'll be down at the Budweiser thing. We'll do a little short. I don't know if that'll be involved. Maybe we'll have a horse behind us, Clydesdale. And we'll do a little short from there. And then Sunday maybe we'll do the live. And then maybe this weekend I can get a video set up to give you guys on Monday and Tuesday. I can go up to the bar and upload and have lunch or something and upload it really quick there. And then Wednesday we'll probably do a live from Milwaukee, letting you know we're there. We'll probably head over to Milwaukee Harley-Davidson, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, and show you all the vendors and stuff that are there. That'll be probably a pretty good thing to give you guys a heads up what's happening, because we'll be there on the 12th, so it doesn't start till the 13th. So we kind of need to go there that night and show you a little bit. Let me look at the last of the comments. Yep, Neil, you got on just time to say goodbye. Think about Sunday. We'll probably do a video on Sunday, a live. Good night, y'all. CJ and ZZ Twin Cam. Hope to see you all in Sturgis. Neil says good night.
Contact information, and we'll call you.
Yep. Give us all the information, and here I'll put our emails up here for you, so you can see them before we leave. That's one.
Hit send.
You can also use this one. Oops. Or you can just go to
Rider X wasn't on.
there is all the ways you can contact us to get a phone number from us so we can give you information. Best thing to do is send us a phone number with it, so that way she can put your name in there, because if it comes up and it doesn't say anything, she don't answer it. We listen to voicemail, and a lot of times when we're at rallies, we don't hear voicemails till we are gone to the next rally. So text, that's the key. So with that, we'll see you all later, and we're going to leave you right here
Bye.
at Cat and the Fiddle in Belleville, Illinois.
Cousin.
Bye.